Data speed is like oxygen, right? Oxygen you take for granted until it disappears, and then it becomes like everything, right? Data is the same thing, right? Everything running fine is fine, and then when you don't have data, when you buffer, you go, what? Sucky. I don't know if you can say sucky on camera, but anyways, like very sucky.
Lack of bandwidth, the idea that, there's not enough access today, I think is evidenced in all kinds of places.
I have all kinds of personal experiences where the internet and the speed of the internet's been incredibly frustrating.
The average high schooler has text 1,200 times from the time they get out of bed to when they hit school at 7:30 in the morning. And so their world is fast, 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 but when they get to the school, we slow way down.
Processor speed, power consumption, networking that we deploy within a data center. It has gotten just incredibly faster by an order of magnitude every few years.
The communications network is the thing that's falling behind in the speed of innovation. What we're trying to do with this effort is to take people from the megabit web to the gigabit web.
Today, everybody's used to 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 20 megabits, right? So gigabit is like 1,000 times bigger.
To actually deliver that kind of connectivity to ordinary people.
That's why we're rolling out communities, starting with Kansas City, that are going to give 1 gigabit of access to every home.
It is going to probably be the most buzzed event in the history of Kansas City on the day it is announced, and that is pretty awesome. Like, that's pretty amazing.
In Kansas City, Kansas, we were absolutely blown away by the leadership, the mayor, the city staff, the utility as well.
Next step, infrastructure.
Nerd out the stadium.
Immediacy, and you weren't constantly reminded, that your physician really is, hundreds of miles away.
Parent conferences don't have to be just in the schoolhouse door.
I don't know if Google Fiber has actually gotten to the point where you can send smells over fiber, but I think it's something y'all should start thinking about, because that would certainly sell more barbecue.
When we make a commitment to that new idea or initiative, we don't know where it may lead, but we know potential's there for it to go to great places.
But I think what it is like a huge bet on human creativity. You just know something special is going to come out of it.
Think of education, think of entertainment, think of e-commerce, think of attracting developers, and not only that, but it just drives the economy around you. So for Kansas City, it's fantastic.
It is a privilege for us to deploy this high-speed network together with the hardworking people of Kansas City.
The change Google is attempting with their fiber project is comparable to the leap ISPs made when switching over from dial-up to broadband access. There was a time when people thought that we would never need anything faster than dial-up, but once broadband access brought people speeds of 4 to 5 megabytes per second and offered a connection that was always there, it was embraced and became an integral tool for businesses as well as homes. The Google Fiber network will offer users lightning-fast connectivity to the internet. Users will see speeds up to 1 gigabyte per second, or 30 times faster than what is currently available. Companies will be able to transfer massive quantities of data very quickly. This will be particularly helpful for companies that use cloud computing or remote server locations that utilize batch processing. Companies that have international affiliates will be able to share large quantities of information. The ability of agents to communicate in a video conference format will greatly improve. Real-time high-definition video will allow agents to communicate in a more realistic manner. This technology will offer businesses the freedom to decentralize. As it becomes easier to send large amounts of data across large distances, more and more resources can be diverted from transporting personnel and maintaining large home offices to other areas of the business. There are several costs that will be incurred to develop the fiber network. The major costs associated with the project will be the development of the infrastructure, such as stringing the fiber optic cable across the area. There is also the cost of navigating the red tape, which is why Google chose Kansas City, where the government is known to work well with private industry. Of course, the obvious benefit to the project is increased data streaming capabilities for the area. Google is undertaking several risks by developing this project. The first of which is that Google has a large upfront cost associated with the infrastructure, and if they don't get enough subscribers willing to pay the increased access fees, those costs may not be recovered. The other risk is that Google may begin investing in the project but incur political roadblocks that prevent them from finishing the project on time and incurring the respective revenues.